What's up, fam? Sorry for the late delay. Y'all know stuff happens. Life happens. But you're listening to the Urban Sports CM Bowie TV pre-game show. The Baltimore Ravens are home, ready to take on their rivals and the AFC North leaders in the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm your host, Wole, and I will be getting ready to have my co-host for real. She's my co-host for real. Keep it a bean. Miss Carita Parks, who is Bowie TV's Ravens reporter. But before we do all that, let's get to the logistics. Hey, subscribe to our podcast. Subscribe to our Urban Sports Team podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene and Bowie TV YouTube channel. Hit that red subscribe button and also like this video on both platforms. Also join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right, here's the rundown. I'll chat with Bowie TV's Ravens beat reporter Carita Parks live from M&T Bank Stadium. Carita will also provide us with her keys for a Ravens victory and drop her predictions. Then finally, we'll give y'all some little gambling stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we'll give y'all our prop bets for today's game for the Baltimore Ravens. But right now, live from M&T Bank Stadium, we have founder of Double Take Sports and Bowie TV's Ravens beat reporter Carita Parks on the Ravens pregame. What is good? Let me do this correctly. What is good, Carita?
Hey, everybody.
How you doing?
Just for the record, it's my life that be lifing. So
look, I ain't a snitch. I don't throw people under the bus. We ain't gonna do that.
You did it.
I won't do that. What I won't do is that.
Wanted to be clear. It's my life that be lifing.
All right, I was making sure. I told you we're a team. I told you.
Yes.
I'm like, all right, no, I was keeping it. Life be lifing. We don't gotta do all that. We don't gotta do all that. All right, so I'm for Korea. So any notable actives and actors for this game?
In actives, I would say notable.
Okay.
Nelson Aguilar, he's out. He did not practice this week with a concussion. Mm-hmm. Keaton Mitchell's he's been inactive for the past 3 games. So okay. I'm kind of just interested in that, just whether or not he's having some sort of setback or what's going on there. But those would be the notable inactives.
Gotcha. All right, so Carita, like I mentioned, this is a big game for the Ravens. The Ravens fell to the Steelers in their first matchup, 18-16. Do you believe that this Raven team is on get back mode for real? Because that was a big loss, but now,
Yeah, I think so because Lamar Jackson has said in all of their losses, it's been things that they've done. No one has actually beat them. They've been beating themselves. So I definitely think that they are on get bad mode because they feel like that's a game that they should have won. Mm-hmm. And quite frankly, it was because the Steelers won that game based on field goals only.
Yeah. And Justin Tucker. It was going to be a good game. Is Justin Tucker on get back?
He seems like it. It's a windy today, so I definitely think that's something to watch, like him kicking into the wind like that. But yeah, I mean, I will say I feel like after the bye week, he talked to me for almost 2 straight minutes about when I asked him how the bye week helped him.
Yeah, we saw it. Yeah.
So, in my opinion, I would say he's definitely seems like, he's a competitor and he's the GOAT. People are not the GOAT for no reason. So I think that he really did focus on trying to get back right. And last week, we only saw him kick extra points. He was perfect on the extra points. People try to come at me. You congratulate him on extra points. I'm like, at the end of the day, he wasn't making extra points sometimes. So, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about.
That.
Yeah, you should. I could take the smoke for you for this one. I just folks gotta understand confidence is a big thing. He made all of his extra points. If you look at towards this season, the dude has been missing extra points. You know what I mean? He's missed everything in terms of for him. So I think coming off to the bye week, to your point, I think it was huge, especially the amount of extra points he had to kick. The Ravens scored 35 points, meaning if you do your math, he had to kick 5 extra points. So those 5 extra, and nowadays it's not like it's from the 10-15 yard it's like it's a 25, it's a 30 plus field goal nowadays. So it's still to your point, to kick all those field goals had to feel good. 5 field goals made them all. You should be happy with that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's what I'm saying. He made all his extra points. So, like you said, it's the little things. It's
Yeah.
the little things. If he would have missed one of those extra points, then
It's a
that
whole
could
different
get back into his mental.
Exactly, exactly. And also for those individuals, I'm sure who just decided to talk just to talk. I will say this though, kicking in New York ain't easy either. Just keeping it being.
Exactly.
So kicking it for in that stadium, if you know, you know, it's not easy. So for him to make all of his kicks, give him his credit. All right, so another individual who like has demons when it comes to this team is Lamar Jackson. He struggled against the Steelers in his career. He's 2-5 against this team. 57% completion percentage against this team, 5 touchdowns, 8 interceptions against the Steelers in his career. How much pressure do you feel like it's on Lamar to break this trend?
I definitely think there is pressure there, especially when people throw out those stats, right? And you don't want to have that stat where you're constantly. There's just certain teams that he hasn't fared well against, and it's been a mixture. Some of it's been like he's been injured, and then you had the last game where it just seems like nothing was going right. I feel like for Lamar, when it comes to these games that are high pressure, he's going to have to win those games to show that he can overcome that pressure.
Yeah. Did
But
Lamar
it's not
speak
all
about?
him,
Sorry,
but
go
he
ahead.
is the leader of the team.
Facts. Did Lamar speak about this? This stat trend, whatever, during the week in practice?
I mean, he's spoken about it before in the past. He doesn't really like to get too into
All that.
those kind of like the stats and the trends and things like that. But
Okay.
he's very aware. And if you ask him like, why is this team so difficult for him to beat? It's kind of like, I don't know. You know what I mean? So he's just gonna have to do it.
No, I'm with you. And during this week, I mean, terms other than Lamar during this week, what were some of the main points from players and coaches about this big game against the Steelers?
Well, they know that they need to win this game for a couple reasons. One, if they win this game, then they can keep the Steelers from winning the AFC North today. Because if the Steelers win, they are the AFC North champions. And who wants that on your home field? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's that. Then there's just the whole record against the Steelers. But then also they need to continue to win, the Ravens, I should say, need to continue to win their games because this is all factoring into playoff standing.
Facts.
So they still got a lot to play for because if they can win today, then they'll be in a one-game tie with the Steelers. So this is a huge game. This is almost like a playoff game today.
How was the energy over there in B-More? Is there a lot of Steeler fans? Because they travel.
When I was walking up, I didn't see a lot of Steelers fans, but I kind of tried to cut out the crowd today because it's a lot of people here today, though. I mean, there's always a lot of people at the game, but I could tell the difference. This game is packed, but I couldn't tell. I saw a lot of Ravens jerseys, but not too sure about Steelers fans. Like I said, I tried to dip out today.
I know that's right.
I tried to dip out the crowd today.
So, all right, for you, Carita, what are your keys for a Ravens victory over the Steelers?
Well, when I was walking up, I had to put my hat on because it's so windy and it's cold. So I feel like this is the perfect formula for a Derrick Henry game, if I'm being real. I definitely think they should try to get him going. Like he's the guy going, but I just feel like I haven't seen like a big Derrick Henry game in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So I would love to see that against the Steelers, but especially with the conditions today. So I think the run game is going to be huge. Also, they're short on wide receiver with Nelson Aguilar out. They did elevate Anthony Miller, who I really liked in training camp, to be honest. But, and then Rashad Bateman, he is active, but I don't know how. He looked good during warmups, but you still don't know how that's going to translate into the game. And I would imagine that they would still try to be a little careful because it was the same foot that he injured. That's been his injured foot throughout his career. That was the problem this week. I say all that to say the run game, I think, would be huge. No turnovers. This week, Ty Monken, I never see him interfere during the individual drills period where all the, groups are working with their coaches, but this week he did. He like ran over to the wide receivers. And he was like punching the ball out. He didn't really like the how they were practicing like that portion. But his point was that he said in his press conference that he's seen this team play the Steelers. Did he play 8 times? That sounds like a lot. I don't know, but whatever no. What he said is every time they play the Steelers, they've turned the ball over at least 8 times total. So turnovers is going to be key. Like they got to limit turnovers. And then for me, I also feel like this defense getting to Russell Wilson. The fact is, when you do get to Russell Wilson, he is not effective. So they're going to have to put some pressure on him and just the defense as a whole because they didn't play very well last time against the Steelers. So I think they need to bounce back as well.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think that like your point about Derrick Henry, because the weather conditions just being a Derrick Henry game. We talk about this all the time. It's not. I just feel like it's not nothing to Derrick Henry. It's not like Derrick Henry's fault. But I feel like 20 carries. This is the type of game. We're in December. This is the time you feed the beast at the running back position. I love what Harbaugh said. Talking about, and you talked about it. How you keeping Derrick Henry fresh. That's why he's not getting so many carries, hasn't had so many carries throughout the season. But now this is the time. This is playoff time. This is championship football time. All coaches who've won the big game have always stated like December is where it happens. Bill Belichick used to always come out and say, this is when we want to play our best football in December. This is it. Like, this is the time. So I just feel like for Coach Harbaugh, you have one of the best running back. Well, you have arguably one or two best running backs in football. Just you have him in your pocket. This man's averaging a crazy amount per carry. This is the time you give him the ball, and we all know he gets stronger as the game goes on. You're playing against a tough Steelers defense. Who wants to keep tackling Derrick Henry in the cold? I know I wouldn't. So I'm with you. I think that's a perfect analysis when it comes to this game, like of any game. Period. Forget like obviously you want. Like as a fan of Lamar Jackson, to be real with you, I would love him to light up Pittsburgh, like so people can stop talking about the top of that junk. But at the end of the day, like you're worried about playoff positioning, and you still, regardless of the fact, even though the Steelers, win this game, if the Steelers have a better opportunity to clinch the division, you don't know. You win this game, you don't know what you can do to the Steelers. You don't know how the Steelers respond after this. So the division's still there too.
Steelers still have to play the Chiefs. I forget they have if I remember correctly, their schedule is tough.
Towards it, yeah. So why not? Why not try to keep
Steelers?
winning?
Let's just also mention. I mean, definitely this could be motivation for the Steelers, but the Steelers are coming off of a loss, so this is like the perfect time for the Ravens to stick it to them, make them lose 2 in a row.
Yeah, I'm with you. You picked up a game last week. Like, why not? You got an opportunity to pick up another game by beating them this week. You know what I mean? So I'm with you. Like, why not? Like, I just feel like the division. It's not just. Yeah, you don't want to celebrate in your field. You still got a chance to win the division. Like, just keep. You never know what happens if you keep winning. So, Carita, your predictions though. What's your prediction for this game?
I think the Ravens are gonna. At least I'm hoping that they're going to pull it out today. You cannot let the Steelers win the division on your field, as far as I'm concerned.
No, I'm with you.
So,
I mean, that's a bad look. I know, definitely. Yeah, it's a bad look. I get that.
I would say that in combination with how they played the Steelers last time, I think the Ravens can pull it out. I'm not going to lie. The only thing that makes me nervous is that sometimes in high pressure games, they don't always deliver. But I'm hoping that it's different today, and I'm going to pick them this time. And score wise, I didn't really think about the score for this one. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game because we know that they play defense. Like these are defensive battles with these two teams. So, dang, I'm going to go with 24. I'm going to go 24-13.
Okay, I like that. 24-13. That's a good score. That's a solid score. I feel like the Ravens. And one thing I'll say about the Ravens, you're right. Pressure games, I feel like when they're at home, I feel like that's when you get the best version of the Ravens, though. Like what they did to Josh Allen, what they did to some of these teams, these power teams. They come to Baltimore. They put the business on these teams. So I do feel like over this last stretch, before the beginning of the season, their home games they've been lights out. So I do, and coming after a bye, they were impressive after a bye. Which we talked about offline. So I do think that with that, I feel like the Ravens, to your point, I think the Ravens win this game.
I do want to say one thing
Yeah.
about the bye because I know like some perspectives, not anyone here, but some
Mhm.
perspectives, it's like okay, it's the Giants, they should have beat the
Yeah, yeah.
Giants. But one thing that I want to say is like after the bye week, I could feel a different energy with the
Yeah.
team. Like it kind of made me realize, you know what, they probably were burnt out, they probably were tired. So I
Yeah.
do think that they are feeling fresher and feeling just a lot better. And that
Yeah.
also gives me a confidence that they could come in here and play a much better game than they did last
Yeah.
time.
I think I think defensively you don't know because of the Giants. Defensively, you don't know what you have
Yeah,
after the bye. But I will say this: offensively, the Giants have a good defense. They do. They have a solid defense. Giants defense
that
isn't
is
bad.
true. That is
So
true.
and they scored 35. That's why I was like I tell folks like the Giants as a whole they're not a good team, but their defense is a solid team. They're on the
Mhm.
defense side of football, they're a solid team, and they scored 35 against them. But I did like certain players. I like when Wiggins played Neighbors. I thought Wiggins was phenomenal against Neighbors, and Neighbors
Yeah.
is one of the best receivers. As a youngster, he's one of the more he's one of the up and coming receivers in the game. And I thought Wiggins did a great job. So I think there's certain elements you could take after the bye and say they have improved. I think that's fair to say. Justin Tucker after a bye was better than Justin Tucker before the bye. So
Agreed.
I think you can say that, fairly say that. And without saying, oh, it's the Giants. I think I know it's the Giants, but there's certain elements you can take away and say, okay, they obviously feel a little bit better about themselves and playing better football in certain elements of football. You know what I mean? So, all right, Chris, let's do this for the gambling folks out there. Folks, don't lose all your money. I'll be scared of some of y'all, man. I know. I'll be feeling for some of y'all. Some of y'all be going over the top. I ain't gonna lie. All right, so Carita, these are some prop bets. Over or under Lamar Jackson passing for 217.5 yards.
217.5, you said?
Yeah.
Mhm. I think he'll get over 200, but I'm not going to go that high because based on what I've been saying,
Yeah.
if they capitalize on the run,
Yeah.
he shouldn't get that high.
So 217. So you think he's gonna be under 217?
No, I still feel like he might go over
Yeah, I think he gets it. Yeah.
200, but I don't know if it'll be
Like
217.
okay. So you are under then. You're under 217
Yeah, I'm
then.
gonna go under tonight.
All right.
Just
That's
wait,
fair. That's
just
fair.
wait for my rationale.
Yeah. Your rationale because the wind and whatnot, that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So this is gonna be a cool one then. Over or under Derrick Henry getting 83.5 rushing yards.
Well,
Yeah.
based on my rationale,
Exactly. That's why. I
I'm
see.
gonna
Look.
go over. I'm gonna go
Exactly.
over on
Exactly. All right. It's another one. All right. Over or he's just coming off an injury, but over or under Rashad Bateman getting 37.5 receiving yards.
37.5. I think he could do that because when Lamar goes to Bateman, it's usually chunk yards.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
even
right.
if it's not a deep ball, it's usually at least 20 yards.
Okay. I'm with it. I'm with it. All right. Well,
So
Carita,
if he
before
gets
we
like
let
two or three good
all
receptions, I
right,
think
man.
he
I need
could.
this. I want this. I would love, even though the weather's bad. I would love this kid to get like I want him to get like 800 and 900 yards. I want him. I want him to get
On the
900 yards for
season.
real. Yeah, I want him to get 900 yards on the season. He's at
Okay.
640 something. I feel like he get a couple good games, like a wild game. I would like to give him. I would love for him to be 900 yards.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
happy
true.
for his progression. I'm happy for his progression.
I
So
would
all right,
agree.
Carita, before we let you go, how can folks catch you on social media? How can they follow your content as well?
You can catch me on social media at Carita Parks on all platforms. Also, on my Ravens content, it's on Bowie TV Sports at Bowie TV Sports on all platforms. And when I say all platforms, I'm also including YouTube.
Oh, you're so
And
nice.
then
There you go.
and then make sure you follow Double Take Sports as well for all of my other sports content. That includes NBA, WNBA, wrestling, getting into some college basketball.
All right.
That's at DBL Take Sports.
Yeah, when is Christmas Eve? I'm a
Christmas
horrible
Eve
person.
is Tuesday. Christmas
Oh,
Eve
so we
is
can't do the
Tuesday.
show on Tuesday. We ain't doing the show on Tuesday.
And the Ravens have a vicious turnaround. They play on Christmas Day.
Dang, they got Christmas Day. Sheesh. Do
They
you
play
want
the
to do a
Texans.
recap? Do you want to do a recap? I gotta do Christmas shopping too. I gotta finish my Christmas shopping.
Tuesday, I'm gonna be en route to Florida. I do got to go see my family.
All
I
right,
don't think
we ain't doing no recap. We
I
good.
don't I don't think that they would. I definitely think they would miss me on Christmas. So
No. Exactly. We ain't doing no recap. I got stuff to do myself. All right. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Well, folks, man, Carita, thanks for being on. I appreciate you. Go ahead and do your thing. Get some good content. You know what I mean? Get some great content. All right, Carita.
hey, all right,
All right. Bye.
bye.
All right, y'all. That was Carita Parks, Bowie TV's Ravens reporter. Let me take this off. Let me go ahead and go back to your homie. Let me also go back to your guy so you can see my name displayed. There we go. Yeah, all right, man. But I predict the Ravens will win as well. I think the Ravens will win like, I ain't gonna lie, I probably think like Ravens score like 27-13. Similar to what I feel like it'll be similar to what the Eagles did to the Steelers, to be honest with you. 27-13. I feel like Derrick Henry, this will be a Derrick Henry game. I agree with Carita. I think Derrick Henry will get a lot of carries. It's like we late December. This is the time. This is the time you feed the beast. So yeah. Derrick Henry. This is his game. I'm totally on board with Carita. All right, y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hey, but before we let you go, I gotta keep saying this again. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Also follow us on X at Urban Sports Scene, IG, and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene, and like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Hit the red subscribe button now. If you're on here, hit it now. Like the video. Just do it right now. Do it right now. Don't even waste any time. Do it right now. Appreciate you. I know y'all did it. I trust you. So, and then you know why when you do this, you help out our algorithm for Baltimore Ravens content on YouTube. So when folks look on, they stay logging on YouTube, boom, and they're looking for Raven stuff, boom, the Urban Sports Scene, Bowie TV stuff is right there. So make sure you do that. And you subscribe into both YouTube channels, Urban Sports Scene and the Bowie TV YouTube channel as well. All right, man. So you can check us out on our website, which is www.urbansportscene.com. That's www.urbansportscene.com. All right, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You guys are dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, go Ravens, beat the Steelers, because folks be getting real arrogant. George Pickens needs to be humbled. So we need the Ravens to go ahead and humble this young man, because he been extra. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. Ya dig, deuces. Your boy Wole, it's out.
Peace.